Hello, everyone. I'm doing a speech today on why tipping should be mandatory in restaurants. As I end my speech, I am hopeful that the audience would have a better understanding on the importance of tipping in restaurants and also demonstrate the better understanding of the importance of tipping and why tipping should be used as a supplement in restaurants due to the poor pay that the restaurants are giving the workers and the advantage that they have. Tipping is a voluntary monetary reward with the customer and the tip of the server on top of the standard that is the restaurant has. This is the impact of different types of cuisines and restaurants and gratuity, Chin and Chin 2017. Tipping is a motivation to servers. It helps servers to want to deal with difficult customers at times, people that like to ask for a lot of things or want a whole lot of refills. This will motivate the server to want to keep on helping you, knowing that they're going to get rewarded in the end for that. It also helps with get a better expectation of the server to the customer. They expect quality service. They expect fast delivery. They expect their food to be prepared right, all the size that they ask for and things of that nature. And when those things are done correctly to the server's ability, they should be rewarded in the end for that. And not only are the servers affected by the tipping, there's the whole restaurant there's tip share involved. The bartenders also get tipped out through the server's tip share, as well as the host for opening the door and seating the guests in the server section. Some people don't think of that. Most servers are averaging $2.13 an hour as a server, and it's getting taxed on that. So it does help as the customers can help contribute to the pay of these servers. Some people who don't have much in order to make the days and days end meet. It'll motivate them to want to come to work and give you a better customer service experience. And at the end of the day, if you don't like the service that you had, there's surveys at the end of your receipt that you can take home and you can tell about your service. And it does have your server that's up there so they can know if you feel like the server does not fit the restaurant. Or at the end of your service, you can call a restaurant manager over to let them know how you feel about your service so that they can be able to fix it in the future on what you need. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to give the server nothing. You can give her a minimum of at least 10% if you feel like she didn't deserve it. But I do feel that all servers should be tipped because they did give you a service. I used to be a server as well. I have served since I was 15 years old. I started off as a host, and I worked my way up to serving because I loved customer service. And yes, there are difficult customers, and yes, the customers is always right that they say in restaurants, but as growing up, you do realize as a server, the customers are not always right. But in order to keep the business going, to satisfy the people, you do things for the customer, even if you feel that it was unnecessary. Some customers complain about their salmon was too small or their steak was not cooked right, things that were outside of the server's abilities. But the server still at times would go and give you other things while you're waiting for your food to accommodate you. That shouldn't mean that they should miss out on a tip because your whole restaurant experience was not how you expected, but you should judge it off of what did the server do for you and what she tried to accommodate even when something went wrong, not based off the whole experience itself. And also when it comes down to customer service, I feel like there's different type of restaurants you can choose between if you didn't want to tip. There's fast food restaurants, and there's also buffet style restaurants, or you could order to go if you don't feel like you have the tip or you don't want to tip. But once you come into a restaurant for a service and you sit down with the server, you are now asking for a service, so you should tip for that service because a person is doing something for you. You aren't doing this yourself. Someone's getting your refill for you, extra napkins, extra bread, or extra food if you need is being brought out to you hot like you want. And they're basically answering to your every need at that moment for you. So they do deserve to be tipped. Like you go anywhere else, nothing is really free. So why feel that you shouldn't tip a server? Or I know some of you are thinking, well, you shouldn't have picked a low paying job. You're right, but somebody has to do the job. If no one ever serves, how would you get the service? And you shouldn't base that off of anything. You know that they worked hard, so why wouldn't you want to tip them if you can for the hard work that they have done, regardless on the pay of their job? You tip them off of their personality as a server, that they make you feel good that day. It's also beneficial because it helps build customer and service relationships. You know, as you build with your server and you make them feel good, they also come in and make you feel good and make you want to be a regular so that you can be able to get that good service from that customer. But most of that doesn't happen if you aren't someone that's tipping your server. You know, you want your service to say, come back and see us again, so that they can be able to give you that same great service that you felt that you had from the beginning. And if you feel that you had a bad service, like I said, you can report things to the manager. And when you decide to eat at a restaurant, you have to think about those things before you just go and eat somewhere. You know, do you want to tip somebody today, or do you not want to tip today? So that bases off of where you want to eat. Or you can go and order takeout so that you won't have to tip the server, which it still should, because they are getting some of their tip share taken out as well. But it's not as bad if you didn't actually get any full service from someone. Tipping has helped enhance great customer relationships, and it helps give good reviews on restaurants. You say how outstanding these service should be. So instead of complaining about tipping, you know, you should maybe try it out to help someone else out and to help yourself out and to enjoy good service and help people want to keep bringing good service.